Today I am doing a video that I've thought about doing for a while, and I saw this originally first on, I want to say it was Shauna's channel, so I will link her down below if you haven't checked her out already. She talks a lot about sustainable fashion, and she goes through a lot of like overconsumption videos on TikTok, which I find to be very entertaining. So if you like that kind of stuff, definitely go ahead and give her a follow. But she made a video where she talked about what her fashion red flags were. So basically the things that I guess maybe you could call it mistakes that you've made in the past, things that you've realized that maybe don't suit you, things that you look for when you shop that makes you go, no, this piece is not for me. Just ways of being more conscious, especially when shopping online. I find for myself that is where I do most of my shopping. So these are the things that catch my attention and makes me go, no, I do not want this piece. I shouldn't buy this piece. I'm not going to wear this piece. This is just not something that is going to be helpful for me in my wardrobe. So let's just go ahead and jump straight in because I have a lot of things on my list and I want to get through all of them. So the first thing on my list is actually something that I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree with, but this is V-necks. I find that for myself, V-necks just don't suit me very well. And I have thought about this a lot lately, and I feel like maybe I need to look into the Kibbe system when it comes to like body typing and stuff, or maybe I'm just intuitively like knowing how to dress my body and how like what suits my lines, because I've always just thought that, oh, if you're pear-shaped or whatever, like there are certain silhouettes that will look better on you. But I found that the more I get into fashion, the more I try different things and the more I realize that certain styles just don't look that good on me. Maybe there's something to that, and maybe there's more to like dressing your body than just your body shape in general, but it's hard to explain. Like your essence is, with what they kind of call it, is just like the way that other people see you and what you portray and what you like, just the way you live your, I don't know, like there's it's hard to explain. I just feel like there are so many things that go into like what actually suits you. So for me, I feel like V-necks just don't look that great on my proportions, on my figure, and the way that I like to wear my other pieces. That's the only way I can really explain it. I just don't feel like myself in V-necks for the most part. I can do maybe like a dress that has a V-neck on it, like a wrap dress, something like that. That looks okay. But like when it comes to t-shirts, sweaters, tank tops, like your basics, I never go for V-necks. So whenever I see something has a V-neck, it's usually a no for me, unless it's a very specific piece that I would have to like try on to make sure it looks good. But for me, V-necks and even square necks, I find also look kind of weird on me. Don't ask me why. It's just one of those things that I think look beautiful on other people, and I wish I could pull it off, but every time I try it, I just don't feel, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. It's almost like something is off. Proportionally, it just doesn't work with my body in some kind of way. So those are two things that a lot of other people really enjoy that I just can't seem to pull off. Another red flag for me, being a petite person, I'm 5'1", so whenever I'm looking for pants or jeans or whatever it might be online, if something does not come in a petite size, I know it's going to be too long for me. And I have platform sneakers, I have heels if I wanted to wear them, but I know myself that even if I buy a regular size pant, unless it's like a skinny jean, it has some kind of string on the bottom that I can fasten. If it's any kind of like straight leg or flared leg or boot cut or whatever it might be, like it's just going to be too long for me. So if it doesn't come in a petite size, it's just out. Leggings I can do because I can kind of roll them under and it's not a huge deal, but any kind of pant, I cannot do them unless they come in petite sizing. So definitely something I keep an eye out for, and I really only shop for pants from brands that carry petite sizing. Another thing that I find so beautiful in other people, and this is something that my friend actually styled me in my last video. If you want to check that video out, I will link that up in the corner, where I had a stranger style me for a week and just make me outfits through the Vnecks app. But she put me in one of my off-the-shoulder tops, which I love the look of them so much. I think they're so pretty. But for me and the life that I live and the daily activities that I do when I actually leave the house, an off-the-shoulder top is so annoying. Like I need to be able to raise my arms and like be able to move around and do stuff without that getting in the way. And also with off the shoulder tops, I feel like it's very difficult to wear a jacket over it because you're just like so restricted, right? Like maybe that's just me, maybe I'm just making this up in my head, but for me wearing a jacket on top of an off the shoulder top feels like it's going to be even more restrictive than it already is, so I just don't wear them. I love the look of them so much, but at this point it is definitely a red flag for me, despite how beautiful and how pretty and how feminine and how on me, I actually find them to be very flattering because I like the top half of my body and I like to show it off, but I just can't. I just can't do it. Another thing that is very much a red flag for me is something that is too high rise. Like jeans that are too high rise, this is something that I've realized in the past couple of years. I used to buy only high rise jeans, only high rise pants, only high rise anything. And I've realized that, especially when it comes to jeans, I actually find high rise jeans to be extremely uncomfortable to sit down in because they really just dig in. I do think that maybe they are better looking when standing up, but even then, I just find that jeans that are marked as high rise tend to be like super high rise on me because I am very petite. So for me, I think that a I say low rise in quotations because I'm not talking about the 2000s low rise. I'm talking about like the actual 2025 low rise, which is more of a mid rise. So like that kind of rise, I feel like looks and feels better for me, and it's easier to just it's just more practical. And practical is so important for me when it comes to what I wear. I've had enough with dealing with things that are uncomfortable that I can't move around in, that I need to readjust. Why? Why do I have to deal with that? I don't. So I just don't. So I tend to go for more of a low rise or mid rise, and I find that to be so much more comfortable. And I also just find that with a high rise, I just get like that little belly punch that I don't really have if I wear lower rise jeans. And it just doesn't look that good on me. So for me, it's something that I'm actually really glad came back in style because I don't know if I would have switched out of high-rise pants and jeans if it wasn't for them not being as popular anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still wearing like high-rise. I'm wearing high-rise today. Like these pants are very high-rise, but mostly it comes down to pants that are not as stretchy. So if it doesn't have a stretchy waistband and it's not like a flowy material, then I don't want to have something that is too high-rise. Something else that I love on other people, I think it looks so pretty, and I'm not sure if it's because I don't feel like I can pull it off or because it's just not that practical, but that is puffy sleeves. So like anything that has volume on top, and I guess I could kind of put shoulder pads into this as well. I find that it just, number one, it overwhelms my frame because I am a very petite person, like I said before, and I just feel like it doesn't, even though I am more pear-shaped, I carry more of my weight in my bottom half. I don't feel like it balances me out in the way that I feel like it should. And I feel like a lot of stylists would probably recommend a silhouette like that for me because of my body shape. But I just think that for me, it just makes me look like I have a small floating head that is just like not attached to my body. It just makes me feel uncomfortable and weird. And also with puffy sleeves, what the hell do you do for a jacket? Like, you can't layer on top of a puffy sleeve unless you have a very oversized jacket, and then you have an oversized jacket with like an oversized shirt. It just gets annoying. It's too much fabric, and I can't deal with it. I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me with the next one, but this is actually cashmere, wool, a lot of silk, linen, any fabric that is high maintenance, that you can't really wash, that needs special attention. Like linen, I find to be too wrinkly. I don't like it. If I'm gonna do linen, it needs to be a linen blend, something that doesn't wrinkle like crazy. I also don't like the look of very wrinkly clothes. And I know that's supposed to be what linen does, and like it's supposed to look lived in. Like, I get it. It looks great on other people, but I don't want my outfit to look like a wrinkly mess. Like, it's just not for me. So I prefer linen blends. When it comes to silk, I find silk to sometimes be very clingy, and I also don't like that. This could also be because I live in a very dry climate. So I live in the desert pretty much in Vegas, and that is why I put cashmere in here as well, because for me, cashmere gets so staticky and clingy, and I literally can hear the sparks just from taking it off the hanger. And everything sticks to it. It sticks to my body. I've tried so many things when it comes to like eliminating the staticness. What word am I looking? I don't know. But I've tried so many things. The only thing that I've found works for a couple of pieces is actually hanging little safety pins on them, because that apparently takes the staticness from the garment and pulls it into the metal. I don't know the magic behind this, but sometimes it works. Otherwise, I've used like the static spray, like the anti-static spray. What I have to do with that is I have to literally like douse my garment into fabric spray. It smells like shit, and then I have to like air it to dry. And then afterwards, I can maybe wear it and not have it be too staticky. But the clinginess and the staticness of cashmere, I wish, I love the feeling of cashmere. I just literally cannot get over it. I don't know how to fix it, and it doesn't work. I've tried like pulling dry sheets over them. I've tried like rubbing metal hangers on them. I've tried literally everything that I've read online that's supposed to work. It doesn't work for me, and I hate that. So for me, cashmere is just out. Wool I find to be extremely high maintenance when it comes to washing. I don't want to hand wash my clothing, so I just don't buy wool because it's just going to shrink. And I am someone who accidentally will put stuff in the washer and the dryer that maybe isn't supposed to go in the washer and the dryer. I've done it too many times. I don't want to do it with like a beautiful wool sweater that I spent a lot of money on, so I just stay away from it. I do know that you're not supposed to wash wool very often, and often you can probably get like 20 wears out of it before having to wash it because it sort of deodorizes itself. I don't know exactly how this works, but that's what I've heard. So it like stays clean for longer and feels fresh for longer. But I just, also wool is itchy, and I don't want to have to wear t-shirts under my wool sweaters. That is just annoying. That's an extra step that I don't want to have to deal with. So all of those things are basically out for me, and I know so many people whose wardrobes are mostly made out of like natural fabrics, and it's something that I've mentioned in other videos before as well, that like I could not do that. I just couldn't do that. Like I don't find a lot of natural fabrics to be number one, comfortable, number two, easy to take care of. And yeah, I don't know. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Another thing that I've learned that looks beautiful on other people and I wish I could wear them is shoes that are like not strappy. I find that my feet just like slip out of shoes. I don't know what it is. Like either they're too tight and uncomfortable and then my shoe will stick into, and I'm mostly just talking about like formal shoes right now, not like sneakers or flats or anything like that. But when it comes to more formal shoes like heels, if I wear a shoe that is my size that doesn't have any straps on it, like a pump or whatever, like my feet just will not stay in the shoe. And I don't know why that is. Maybe one of my feet is a little bit smaller than the other because it tends to be like one of them usually does that. Even though like all of my other shoes fit fine, like I just don't know, like they just don't work for me. I've tried probably hundreds of pairs and I cannot walk in them. They're not comfortable. Like I said, I wish I could wear them. I just can't. So I just need a little bit more support. And I also I like feeling stabilized in shoes. I don't want to feel like I might trip any moment. And yeah, I just want to make sure that the shoes that I'm wearing are comfortable and practical and that I can walk in them. So yeah, just very important to me. Non-strappy shoes. I need more coverage around my foot. So that could also just mean like, the fabric or whatever going a little bit higher up on my foot. That helps too. But in general, I prefer something that just like holds me in a little bit more. Another thing that is a red flag for me is colors that I just don't think looks good on me. And I've never had color analysis done. I don't know what the actual color palette for me is, but I've found that a lot of beiges really wash me out, like light browns, creams I don't like the look of on me. Soft pastels can maybe work depending on like the pastel color, but it needs to be a pastel that's not so leaning towards white but has a little bit more color in it, if you know what I'm talking about. So something that's like between a more saturated color and a pastel usually will work fine for me, but I think I just need more saturation in my colors, and that I think goes for like even makeup and stuff too. I find that I'm more drawn to things that have more pigment to them, and I also really love wearing black. White looks good on me, but it's just like those in-between colors that a lot of people will put in like basic wardrobe staples, and I'm just like, I could never. Like, that looks terrible on me. So don't look at the lists online of what people say you should have in your wardrobe, because it all comes down to what you like, what you feel good in. Not necessarily what other people think looks good on you, but what you like on yourself, because those are the things that you're going to wear. Like, you can buy a bunch of stuff that other people would recommend for you, but if it's not something that you actually like and you don't think you look good in, you're never going to wear it. So wear the colors that you enjoy, that you feel good in. And if there's something maybe wrong about an outfit, maybe it's just the color of it that you don't like. So if you like a particular color and you don't find that it suits you, maybe use it more as an accessory, like in a bag or something that's more further from your face. I find that that helps. I can really wear whatever pant I want. As long as the colors I'm wearing, like up top, suits me, I can get away with the colors that maybe aren't as suitable on the bottom half or in accessories and stuff like that. Another red flag for me when online shopping, or just shopping in particular, is when I see an item that maybe is very unique, maybe has a very cool style to it, or a weird shape, or whatever it might be, but then if I can't think of enough ways to style it, if I only can see it going with one of the bottoms in my wardrobe or one of the tops in my wardrobe, if I can't think of many ways that I want to wear it, especially in a more casual setting. If I see a piece, maybe like a beautiful dress, and I love it, and I try it on, and it looks so good, but then I'm like, where in the world would I wear this? When would I wear this? When is this appropriate? I can't just like leave the house on a Tuesday morning in this dress and feel okay about that and not feel overdressed even with a pair of sneakers on. Like, it needs to be something that fits into my lifestyle. So if I see something that is beautiful, but I can't think of ways that I would wear it tomorrow, unless I'm looking for something for a certain event, which, listen, I don't go to events, so that's just not really a thing. So if I literally cannot wear that piece tomorrow, unless it's like because of weather reasons, I probably shouldn't buy it. That is something that I tried really hard to like incorporate into my wardrobe. I would say when it comes to maybe thrifted pieces, something that is way cheaper, I might make an exception if it's a really pretty piece that I might get like one or two wears out of down the line. But if it's something that I really want to like, get a lot of wear out of in my wardrobe, I don't want to buy things that I can't just wear right away. The last thing on my list, this goes for online shopping in particular, and I feel like this is pretty obvious, but when I see an item that I'm interested in, and they don't have specific measurements for that specific item, if they just have like a general chart of like what the measurements for a size medium is, that is not enough for me. Like, I know my measurements, and I know that especially if I buy bottoms or something that is more on the tighter fitting side, I need to know what the exact measurements are. And I will not buy something if I only see that it comes in a medium. Unless they have like a model listed and they have their measurements listed. I'm very specific when I'm shopping, and I make sure that the things that I buy measurement-wise will actually work on me. Sure, sometimes it comes to me and it doesn't work out still because maybe like the torso is too long, or like, there's something else that just feels off about the garment, which totally happens. But for the most part, I really make sure that the measurements on their website are for the garment that I'm buying. And sometimes when shopping on ThredUp and other places that are like secondhand sites, they don't have specific measurements, but what they do have is a mannequin, and they have the measurements of the mannequin listed that they've used to put the item of clothing on. So that can be helpful as well. So I would say if you don't know your measurements yet, and maybe you struggle with online shopping, just find a measuring tape and like measure your waist and your hips at least, and then when buying like dresses or pants or whatever, it's just so much more helpful if you know what your measurements are. So those are my fashion red flags. I can probably think of more as well, but I didn't want this video to be way, way too long. If you want to see maybe a video about my green flags, things that I know is going to work for me when shopping, or maybe we can do a video shopping together together and I can sort of show you the process that I go through when I decide whether or not to buy something. That could be kind of fun. Maybe like a window shopping with me for fall trends. I don't know. Maybe we can do like a ThredUp shopping video. Like that could be fun too. I really enjoy browsing ThredUp. I find that they have a lot of really cool pieces. Not sponsored. I wish. I use ThredUp so often. I think it's a great site and I found a lot of really cool pieces there. But yeah, let me know what you want to see next and I will definitely take that into account. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see another video from me, I will put one up on the screen that I think you might enjoy. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you hopefully in my next video. Bye.